Hello lovely people, welcome to the video. My name's Athena. I'm a writer working on my multiple books at this point whilst homeschooling my two girls and being with them 24/7. I have one work in progress and I have one book in the query trenches, and that's going to be the highlight of today's video. So I started filming a whole other vlog. Not yesterday, the day before. Yesterday I was too busy crashing out. So I started filming on Thursday where I was working on my work in progress, and the logic was I sent my first 5 pages of my querying book to an editor because I was receiving feedback from agents telling me, do you hear those children? Good gosh. As I was saying, I sent it to an editor because the feedback I was receiving from agents was they liked the premise, they liked the story, they liked the idea, the synopsis, but the problem were the pages. And if I made any changes, like I have a list of agents who literally have asked me that if I make changes to the manuscript, to send it to them again. And that is not, something that is common, I guess. Usually when you query a project, that's it. Like once they say no, you're done. In this instance, I have received the rejection as it stands, but I'm able to re-query with the same project if I make changes. And there are a couple of agents actually who gave me specific advice as to what to change as well. Most of them didn't, but a couple did, and I was like, okay. Change, what do we change? So I sent the first 5 chapters to an editor. I was like, I need someone to rip this apart and tell me what I need to fix. So I sent that off, and the person who I sent it to told me that they would be able to do this within 5 days or so. So I started working on Thursday thinking I'm going to work up until the moment I receive this feedback and challenge myself to finish my work in progress, my paranormal romance, so that when I get the feedback for the fantasy romance, I could then kind of switch gears and look into that and see how I can fix that. Long story short, I was expecting the feedback next week. Today's Saturday as I'm filming this. I received the feedback yesterday. She went through it, she read it, she just completely, so it wasn't annihilating feedback, it was more along the lines that I already knew. See, I think this is the one thing that really kills me when it comes to writing and our work. When you're really close to something, you might know something is wrong, but you just can't put your finger on it until someone gives you the right nudge. So what's happened here is this. I have Maddox and Petra. Maddox's chapters are, as per the editor's words, 95% there. Minor tweaks that need to happen, bit of backstory that should probably be in the very, very beginning, that kind of thing, and they are really good. Maddox as a character I've just always felt way stronger with him. Now, Petra's first chapter was, oh my God. And then I'm looking at her edits and I'm like, this makes so much sense. And I have sent this to agents, and I guess this is the thing. You think that an agent will say, I see the potential here, I like the premise, I like the idea, let's go. But the problem is, if they can't see proof of good writing, and your writing being, like, you understand how a story needs to flow, and that from the get-go you should not be like giving them a whole bunch of backstory, they're not gonna, at this point of time where they're just being inundated with queries, they're not gonna sit and say, okay, I'm gonna give this a go. They're looking for the best possible quality first pages. That is just the reality of it. And after going through the notes on the first chapter, as well as the 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, which are also from Petra's POV, I realized a few things. So I spent yesterday crashing out. I was rather overwhelmed in general from just a lot of things. I'm feeling much better today. My ADHD and it just went nuts yesterday, I think. I was really overwhelmed. I was really just, I wanted to do 500 things at the same time and I couldn't naturally. So I was having a moment. Now, where are we at this stage? What are we doing today? Today is Saturday, as I said, the 2nd of May. I sat down yesterday and made a brainstorm document where I just kind of wrote my thoughts as I was thinking them. So I was kind of setting the issues, for example, the age. I'm definitely going to be aging them down. I don't know if I'm going to full on make it YA, so like move her over to the 17 mark. I think I'm probably going to teeter on the edge and do 18, make her 18 years old from 25. Because a lot of the issues she's dealing with, yes, I've seen 25-year-olds act the way she does, but the thing with fiction is that we tend to prefer mature adults. We tend to prefer not the, oh yes, I know a 25-year-old can do this, but I feel like an 18-year-old would normally do this, not a 25-year-old. So we kind of want the norm, or what people feel is the norm in fiction. So definitely aging her down, bringing her to that 18 age mark. Now, this will make a lot more sense in regards to her abandonment issues, in regards to her mummy issues, in regards to all of those issues that she has that kind of guide the narrative. Now, this is the thing. So there's YA crossover, there's like that YA adult crossover where you can balance on the edge. So I don't know if I should take it completely YA and make her 17 and actually just say YA, or if I should do 18 and make her, I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. So this is what I was doing with the brainstorm. I was kind of thinking it through. So first things first, we're moving to higher, upper YA adult crossover. Okay. Number two, I'm definitely moving some things around in regards to the chapters. The editor suggested, and I have to say I agree because I do feel way stronger about this chapter. She suggested to make Maddox's chapter the first chapter. So Maddox's chapter is chapter 2. We have one chapter from Petra's POV, one chapter from Maddox's POV. I initially had the prologue, which prologue we have sent off. It is gone. The agents did not like it. That was one of the very clear things that I received. Now, you can't just simply switch a chapter. Like it all needs to make sense, like it needs to kind of flow. So I had to kind of sit and rework those first 5 chapters specifically, because after that point, the way the story flows, it just naturally kind of flows in Petra's POV for a while and then kind of continues. So funnily enough, it's these first 5 chapters that really needed the reshuffling in order for everything to kind of work. And those are the chapters that I've always struggled with, like those first 5 chapters, where the setup of the story pretty much, and kind of getting into the magical part of the book. This is the whole, I'm going to be reshuffling chapters. I am going to be editing the chapters themselves, rearranging them. I've already gone into my Scrivener document of the previous draft and duplicated the 5 chapters and created like a separate little folder within the one Scrivener folder. And I've called them revision chapters. So I have a duplicate of chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to be editing them to an inch of their life. I am going to be adding scenes to the first. So Petra's chapter, the issue with Petra is that she has a very specific way of acting and reacting, which is very passive initially. She's a people pleaser, she's a doormat, she does not think she is worthy of anything at all, and she will try her very hardest to achieve even this tiny sliver of affection from her family, which is not given in any way, shape, or form. So in order to show that though, not make her just look like a very blunt person who has no like personality whatsoever, we need to show more of the dynamic between the family. So I need to add a scene. I do have a scene, but that comes in chapter 3, and it's quite late in the scene, and it doesn't make sense as it stands right now. I didn't realize it didn't make sense until it was pointed out to me. So there you go. Now I'm going to be adding a new scene at this stage, which is insane to me. But also in my head, I feel like it's already existed for a while. Like these things between Petra and her family have happened in my head as I'm writing the story. I know these things. I know this is how they treated her. So it's just kind of getting that into a scene. It doesn't have to be a big scene. It's nice and simple. I've already kind of figured it out in my little brainstorming document. I kind of made notes and I figured out what I want to do to highlight that. So for example, I'm going to be editing the existing scenes in the original, like in the chapter itself, and adding that one chapter. And then that chapter is going to become chapter 2. So I have a lot of work to do today. But I'm actually, as I said, yesterday I was crashing out completely. Today I'm actually quite excited about this, and I think it'll be okay. Also, another thing I have to do today is withdraw queries. So, considering the changes I'm going to be making, there are a handful of agents for sure that I will be withdrawing my queries from and resubmitting the new material to them later on once it is done. My brain is telling me right now that I want this to be done ASAP. I'm not going to put a limit on it, but I am going to tell myself as soon as possible. I want it to be as good as it can be. That's kind of more of the marker than the time frame specifically, but I also want it to be as soon as humanly possible with the best work done, if that makes sense. Because if I give myself too much time or unlimited time, we all know how that's gonna go. So with that being said, I'm gonna be withdrawing a bunch of queries. I have no idea how to how to withdraw a email query. That's the only issue. I might have to look that up a little bit. Or just, it is what it is, you know. I mean, what can I say? I will admit, like, there are not too many agents that I'm kind of kicking myself about when it comes to like having sent it out too early, I guess, or, you know, everyone does it. It's a rite of passage, I guess. Of course, the reality is if I do kind of change it to YA crossover, big changes, I could technically try resubmitting to some of the agents who rejected. But in all reality, if they didn't really like the premise isn't changing much, so if at all. So I don't think that would really, it's not worth it. The agent that did specifically ask for me to resend to them to resubmit the same project, they're a different story because they liked the premise, they liked the idea, but they just needed me to fix the pages. So my phone is just being okay. So that is what we're doing right now. So today I'm just going to be working away. I think this video is very long, so I'm just going to end the video here. This is kind of my update, what my life has become right now. I think I will probably start a vlog maybe and start just vlogging me going over this and how much I've done and what I've done. So that would be the next video. Just me fixing up my initial first project and getting it up to par, because this is the reality of writing, I guess. It's the reality where you write a book and you take it as far as you can, and then you jump into the query trenches and you realize, it's really, I think I have to say this one little thing, that beta readers give you a lot of good feedback. Editors have a very different eye, I have to say. So the feedback, as well as agents. So because the feedback from the agents and the editors kind of align, whilst beta readers, they're just, I don't know, it's different. It's very different. It's more like a reader will go over certain things. A reader will be like, it's fine to have a bit of backstory, because the beta reader will read the whole book. They have to read the whole book. It's kind of the whole purpose of a beta reader. So they will get past those first pages, and I know that the rest of the book is good. I know that the way the story flows, I know that, because I have been stuck on these first chapters myself. Like it's even me as a writer, and I just haven't been able to fix them because everyone has just kind of, I guess, read them, kind of understood what I was going for and moved on. And there was never really, like, no one ever really attacked my first chapters, pretty much. So that's what I needed, that's what I got, and I am very happy about it now. Yesterday, not so much, I will admit. So I'm gonna end this video here, and I'm probably gonna start a vlog of me reworking my fantasy romance again. Let's do this. We're gonna put paranormal romance to the side for a little bit, and we're gonna focus on this one. And fun times. I'll see you guys in the next one.